Good morning. So I wanted to discuss with you the benefits of having a Gmail or a Google account. The first thing is that once you have a Gmail account, you would have access to something called Google Drive or G Drive. And the G Drive allows you to provide access to your students to work online collaboratively. Now, what would that look like? So if we were to click on Drive, it would take us directly to the Google Drive that's attached to my Gmail account. No one has access to this information unless I give it to them. Now in the top left corner, we have a create with an arrow. If you click upload, that means the arrow up means you can upload files directly to your G Drive by clicking on that button. So any of the work you've already done in class, if you wanted to upload and make it available to students and share it, you may need to have your own class website unless you have their email addresses, but I don't recommend it. So if you have your own class website, you can upload your file to G Drive and then you can attach the file to your class site. But for today I want to talk about a common workspace where you can create a file or an activity and all the students in your class can collaboratively work on that activity on the same spot. So if we click create, now you have a whole bunch of different choices here. Anything from a document to a spreadsheet to a Powtoon, and some of these tools I've never used, but I highly recommend testing them and just try them out and see what happens. It's not going to hurt you, and it definitely won't hurt the kids, because if they try any of these devices, they may find that they've got a new favorite toy or a new favorite tool in which they can use to share their understanding. And that helps stimulate interest in the topic because they're doing or working with something novel. So it's a very, very good idea. So let's say we were going to work with a document. Now in the document there's nothing showing yet. But if we were going to do a topic where we had all the students in groups, and let's say there were 6 groups, each group was responsible for researching one aspect of a topic. The first thing that I might do is take the table or take the page and divide it into 6 groups. But what you might also do is then identify who's responsible for which section. So by subdividing the page into specific work areas, it helps scaffold the activity for the students so that they don't invade other people's work and then work doesn't get lost or deleted by mistake, because accidents like that shouldn't happen. So once you've developed your groups, alright, great. What's the topic? So you can identify the topic. Again, this looks a lot like Microsoft Word as far as features. So you can center, and then we can call the topic Writing Forms Represented in Classic Tales. So just a simple example, and each group is going to be researching different classic storytelling tales, and they're going to describe the different writing forms that they find. So you've made the form, you've made the place where the students can work. Now how do you share this with them? Well, we need to have a class site in order for students to access the file. So you can use my class site, or you could use Edmodo, or you could use any tool you already have like Moodle, whatever it may be, to attach this link. Now how do we get a link to share with our kids? On the top right hand corner there's a share button. It's in blue. Right now if I hover over it, it says private to only me and only I can access it. You can leave it this way, but it's more fun to share it. Then we click save. Now this page will we can start to tweak our features here. So what's highlighted on the top is basically the URL link directly to the page. We could share that link using a variety of different preset tools like Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and Gmail. So we could Gmail it to ourselves so we have access and we remember what the link was. But it's not really necessary. Or we could say, okay, who has access? Right now it says private, just like we talked about. And I have access because I'm the creator, I'm the owner. Now if we click on change, this allows us to change who has access and what those people can do. For academic work and for students, I do not recommend making the link public, because when it's public, anybody in the whole world can access this and they can change it or they can look at different people's work, and we don't want to make students unsecure in their workspace. So what I would recommend doing is anyone with the link. It's a little bit more secure because the link should only be presented in our online workspace, which is protected either in my class site or whatever interface you're working on with your students. Access says anybody, no sign-in required, can view it. Well, that's great if you just want the students to look at it, but not respond to it. You can change the working environment so they don't just view it, but maybe they can comment on it. That means they can't change the work that's already there if you've already put in a template for an activity and you don't want them to mess with your work. However, on this workspace, we want them to be able to edit it because there's really nothing there. All we've created is a blank template. And then we click Save. With a class website, I would highlight and copy the URL so you can go edit copy. I'm going to use a quick key, Command C or Control C if you're using a PC, and that would copy the link. Then you click Done. Now I've copied this already. The next thing I need to do is access my class site. You can use whichever class site you're using and log in. So once I created my intro message for the students, then I would have to attach my link. So it would be Control V for pasting, or it could be Edit Paste, or for a Mac you could use Command V, and that would paste it in. And then I click Attach. And there is the workspace attached. Now I have to assign it to the class, and then I click Send. And once it's sent, you'll notice here's the link. So if I were to click on the link, it takes me directly to the page without any login required, so the students will not have to log in. If you're working with my class site, you would log into your Peel account just as you normally do. And then go to your class web page. Now once you're in your class workspace, what you could do then is attach your link to the new link section. And you could put the links into separate folders. So for this link, you can push Control V to paste it, or if you're using a Mac, Command V, and it'll paste the link right in, or it would be, I would say, writing. Now once that's been completed, go back to your workspace, and you'll see that there's a writing link on the class page. They may require some direction on here because with my class site, it doesn't tell them exactly what they're supposed to do each day or each period. So you could type in upcoming events and tell them what you would like them to do for today's work. Interactive writing activity, and then they can see that they've been directed, see links on the bottom right, so then they should go over here visually, writing, click on writing, writing forms and classic tales. When they click the link, it should take them directly to the interactive workspace where students can then start to share their understanding as they work in groups. Now the great thing about this interactive workspace is that a group may be working on one classic tale and writing forms within that tale. At the same time, they're going to visually see all the other groups working on their own, and they'll see the progress and the ideas. Meaning the best practice of all the students will be shown here. It can't hide because the best students want their work out there. That also means that students that may be having difficulty or feel challenged with this will see the best practice from their peers without having to ask for help. So it's a great interactive tool to support even students that are struggling.